Hello, it's Will from Magic the Friendly Tavern on Facebook. Today we're on YouTube actually, and we're going to play another match of my Sharuum deck. We got two people in the queue, and just waiting on that last slot to fill up, and we'll fire. Hope all of y'all are doing well today. Next week will be the Acapina spoilers starting, so we'll have that to look forward to. I think what I'll do is I'll try and record a visual look at the spoiler guide when maybe we're halfway through, and then again when we're all the way through. They can be overwhelming. I mean, trying to look at 300 new cards all at once is a little much. Usually it takes me a while to study the list to usually even remember cards, and if the card isn't exactly relevant, it kind of escapes the mind nowadays. Used to, I even remembered things like Hexblade Golem, but not anymore. Especially with the cards being more complicated than they used to be. And it looks like our queue is fired, so we're in the game. We're going to go ahead and greet the table. Oh no. Please don't pop up again. Alright, there we go. There's our long greeting. Okay, so to begin with, our hand is Swan Song, Altar of the Brood, Thrass's Oracle, Basalt Monolith, and 2 lands. It's like four combo pieces and a piece of disruption. It's not really where we want to be. We're going to mulligan for our free mulligan. Our next hand is 2 lands, which one of them is a Glimmer Void, so we must have an artifact out there. But we do. We have Mox Opal, we have Scroll Rack, we do have a 3rd land, a Damnation. This hand's not really good either, but I'd rather keep this one than the other one, and I really don't want to go to 6. So we'll keep. Alright, let's look at what we're faced off with. We're against the Lord Windgrace deck. We are also against a Maja, Better Guard Protector, a 5-mana 2/3. Other creature can go get +1/+1 on land enter its battlefield on your control, creating 1/1. Interesting. That's cool. Looks like they dropped, so that we're not facing them anymore. Apparently they picked the wrong deck, maybe, and decided to scoop out. We also have Thrass versus Tymna. This is old TNT. We're good. We're going to go ahead and, well, we can't because we have Pact of Negation, so we're just going to have to press this F2 through everything. Alright, it is our turn. We will actually start off with Inventor's Fair and a Mox Opal. And that way, because if we run Glimmer Void out there, yeah, we have access to blue, but we have nothing to cast with it. And if they blow up our Mox Opal, then our Glimmer Void, yes, will go away at the end step. So we do not want that. Is it our end step? I mean, the end step. Okay. So we kind of want to protect this Glimmer Void. It is kind of a weaker land, but it is a free coming into play tapped and taps for any color. So I run it. I think it's really good. Our opponent runs out a scrub land. These are dual lands. I don't have any dual lands in my deck. That keeps me budget. They play Mox Diamond, pitching Snow-Covered Swamp. Ben Nornell's is good. And then they tap out and play faster. It's too bad it's a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1 versus a 4-player pod. I can understand though. Flame Burst probably picked the wrong deck or something. We might check chat and see if they said anything. Meltdown, destroying artifact value mana or less, 1 or less. They destroy both of them. Each. Okay, you destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. That's pretty good. See what I said. If we had Glimmer Void out there right now, we'd be really hurting. But I got to make a recording, and resetting, trying to get 4 players to stay is just going to take way more time than it's worth, honestly. So we'll just play this game. Oh, we'll get Watery Grave. Yes, we'll have it come into play untapped for some damage. We're not under any pressure, and this will let us impulse at the end of turn. Before our next turn. Alright. Cracks Blood Stainmire. They get a Watery Grave as well. We are now officially in the Watery Grave Club. They're deep in the tank on something. You can play Tymna. That's fine. Lord Windgrace untaps. Plays a Mana Crypt. Is able to cast Lord Windgrace at this point in time. It appears so. Seems good to me. I'm an impulse in response. I want Sensei Surviving Top. We're not worried about killing Lord Wind, or I can't kill Lord Windgrace with a Path to Exile. We're not really worried about Tymna. And the rest of the spells were pretty irrelevant. And lands. Okay. And they get the discard land. I think that draws them 2 cards. If I remember, that's how that ability works. Being a lands deck, I have 1 Strip Mine, so I don't really have anything to face off against lands. That is very, very, very true. Play Glimmer Void. I know that was scary, but its end step is when it sacrifices. We'll go ahead and run out Scroll Rack. We'll use the Glimmer Void to activate Scroll Rack. I will put back this Irrigated Farmland. I'm going to put back this Pact of Negation. I'm going to put back this Blue Sun Zenith. We will put them back in the order of Pacted Negation, Blue Sun Zenith, then Irrigated Farmland. We drew into a Serum Visions, a Dispel, and a Delay. I kind of like this. Wish I could play out the Sensei's Divining Top, but we can't right now. That's the power of Scroll Rack. Now what we need is a shuffle effect so that we can get rid of the cards on top of our library that we just put back that we don't want. And we can scry them away with the Serum Visions. We can draw one and put two on the bottom, so that'll get us through there. All three cards that we put back. That's not bad. Deck manipulation is so key to my deck. I'm getting swung in at naturally. Even though I think they should have went after Lord Windgrace. Of course, if they wanted to draw cards, I think they have to deal combat damage to a player. Yes. Alright, they play Mana Crypt. And they play Thrass. Ending their turn with 5 cards in hand. Lord Windgrace opens up. I'll have Disruption up next turn, but this turn is a freebie for my opponents. I have nothing that I can interact with them with. Pact of Negation was just rotting away because I didn't have the 5 mana to pay to live through casting it, and I'm not going to cast it and kill myself just to king make one player or the other. And that's another thing I'm not going to do in this game is try and king make. But it's going to be hard because I'm not very familiar with the Lord Windgrace list, and it's been forever since I've seen TNT. And I haven't faced TNT without a Flash Hulk in it in a long time. Okay, it appears all these creatures are going to die. And apparently so did my Scroll Rack, which means my Glimmer Void will go away in step. This is definitely a very controlling Lord Windgrace. This is a definitely more controlling Windgrace than I'm used to. Then he gets rid of Field of the Dead, which I can imagine he'll get Life from the Loam or some other spell to get Field from the Dead back. Maybe he's got a World Gorger combo hidden in there. I don't think this is your typical Lord Windgrace. He's also going to Wasteland our opponent. That's just rude, but we're losing Glimmer Void at this end step. So we're not out completely yet, but we are very wounded. We're just going to actually play Irrigated Farmland and play tapped. And we're also going to cast Sensei's Divining Top. But we're not going to spin our top until end of turn, so we can at least leave out this Dispel. It also means we're not going to get to play Serum Visions, but that's okay as well. This would have been a great 4-player game with all this attrition. Right now, it's just going to be a beating. Then again, with the 4th player's deck, or 4th player might have been in as much trouble as we are right now. Burgeoning, that's fine. And we +2s one more time. The next turn after that, he can ultimate. And I don't know if that's what he's going to shoot for. No, it looks like he ticked it down, and it looks like he's going for the wasteland again. What else are you grabbing? Snow-covered swamp. Okay. It looks like one of us is about to get hit with the wasteland as well. Or wasteland again. No, he actually needed the mana to cast something. He cast the Get Rog monster. Hmm. Cracks a fetch, which activates the Get Rog trigger for the fetch going to the graveyard. He draws a card. He goes in and gets his land. It's a taiga. It's a mountain forest. It comes into play untapped. It's the OG dual lands. And he's even got the old frames on them instead of the new frame. Alright, there we should have spun top and we didn't. That was a failure on my part. I just clicked through. That's okay because we can spin top here for free, basically. But we're actually... Yes, we're going to spin top. And look at the top three. Put them back in any order. We have disenchant. Disenchant will not help us. Marsh Flats does not help us. Pact of Negation. We'll cast Serum Visions here. We'll go ahead and put Disenchant and Marsh Flats on the bottom of our library. Hopefully that'll give us a better draw. We don't really have much here. Get Rog has to sacrifice a land, or he has to sacrifice the Get Rog monster. This happens every upkeep. So he gets rid of the snow-covered forest. He gets to play two lands a turn, because it allows you to play an additional land. And whenever a land is put into your graveyard for anywhere, you draw a card. So he drew a card off that trigger. He's got 8 cards in hand. He's going to return up to 2 target land cards in his graveyard to the battlefield. One of them is going to be the Field of the Dead, which is going to create a 2/2 zombie. Yes. And I think this is where he's going to start getting his value. He got 2 zombies off of that. Not exactly sure why. I didn't read up. Float the 1 mana. See if he's Now he's putting in 6 against our other opponent. I guess I should have spun top there instead of let that mana go. But it's really not going to help. We're pretty much dead. It will not take long for the Lord Windgrace opponent to get enough value out there to beat us down and really hurt us. Especially with an Oracle and will die. I giving him another land play so he can replay the land over and over again. And on top of his library is an Ugin. And he plays a Chandra Torture Defiance, which will also help him a lot. He can go ahead and getting that wasteland back, and you can just put us back to the Stone Age. Dovin's Veto, I can't even cast it. We can spin top and look at what we got in our options up here, but I don't see anything bringing us back. Go ahead and draw that ponder, and we'll ponder our fate. No, we'll just play out of land. F6. Maybe our opponent can claw back in, but I just don't really see it. But we'll go ahead and let him have his fun and beat us down. And play lots of spells and let you see his cool deck. Get Rog triggers. Beginning upkeep. He's going to sacrifice probably the land that gives him the 2/2s. I'm going to ask. I mean, y'all can pretty much see here. He's going to attack and attack, and he's going to build up. I'm going to ask if they want to we don't have to sit through all that. We can actually go here. You can see that he's clearly got the win. It's going to be up to the table, though. No, we're done. We're going to go ahead and concede. He said he's going to go until they go. But he's definitely got this. For me, I'm at 2 lands and I'm looking into more lands, and there's not really much hope. So I'm done. I'm not sure if my opponent is going to concede as well, and it looks like they said bye. So they might have been telling me that. Let me show my YouTube channel one more time, and then we're gonna leave it there. And I'll see you guys later. As always, happy games and happy pack pulls.